Names are an expression of the self, a declaration of one's hopes and aspirations.
My name is Puddingway.
Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure. We must needs prepare for every eventuality.
Order! Order, I say!
I've never heard this prophecy.
By the gods, how long do we have?
The beating heart of this planet is its people. Many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. This is why we choose to fight.
Bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable.
Bold words call for bold action.
It is surely too much for any one woman. Sleep well, my friend.
In truth, my reason for traveling hither was to effect a plan of mine own. A plan which may pave a way forward for us all. May I say, for there is no guarantee of success. This is the reason I set out alone. That failure should it come would be mine to bear alone. Yet those stand as before me with proffered hand and open heart. 'Twould be remiss of me to refuse the amity, and so I ask, wouldst thou join in mine endeavour? Yeah, sure. Thank thee for accompanying me. This is a simple plan in truth. We shall not be long away from the best way burrows. Difficult decisions must needs be made in the coming days, but I nevertheless believe we are all of one mind in our desire to save the people of Etheris. To make clear resolve to the Loperates, I would offer them a gift, but its making doth require a most singular ingredient. Ah, an abundance of sponjoys. Excellent. I chanced to spy this aggregation when crossing Zodiark's erstwhile prison. Using a spell taught me by the Uuuh, I believe these shall suffice for the gift I would fashion. The magic requireth considerable concentration, however. Might I prevail upon thee to stand watch whilst I prepare the incantation? So, gonna do. Orianger. There, this done. A magic ink, every ounce as efficacious as the one crafted by the Uuuh. Rare is the occasion I would conjure mine own, but it's nevertheless the most useful skill. The resulting product is admittedly possessed of no preternatural properties, but its hue is one of mine own choosing, which I pray the Loperates will appreciate. Yomi, Orianger! Oh, thank goodness, I thought you had been eaten, or had perhaps fallen into a crater. No? Why would we? Y'ashtola has been looking all over for you, Yomi. She says she needs to speak with you about something most urgent, dire even. What are you? Why are you? What's your... Oh, I don't trust you, suddenly. She was also quite clear that she wishes to speak with Yomi alone, which means I'm afraid you must stay behind, Orianger. Well, maybe that's why Alphino and Alize aren't here, because they would have been like, wait, you're trying to separate us again? But worry not, it just so happens we need your help with an errand, delivering a package from the Watcher's place to Best Wastebarrow. It's quite large and heavy, perhaps even too heavy for we poor Loperates, and we would be ever so grateful if you could lend us a hand. That's convenient, suspiciously convenient. Are you insinuating I would betray the trust of Hydaelyn's chosen, or worse, do anything to risk getting on Y'ashtola's bad side? She's clearly not one to be crossed nor made to wait. Now off with you. Worry not, Yummy, I shan't be long. What's going on? Oh, Yummy, we thought you would be away for far longer. But you said that I should be coming back. A dire emergency? I said no such thing. But as you are here, I could use your assistance with one small matter. Running Way, a companion of Growing Way, is apparently as much to tell us of the final days. The problem, however, is that he is determined to live up to his name, refusing to stay still long enough for us to hold a conversation. Is there anywhere he's likely to stop and rest? Or perhaps there is a way to slow him down? Maybe we should go check up on Urianger. What's the rush? I was thinking we should wait here, maybe enjoy a cold mug of carrot juice and... No? Well, if it's really that important... You can try using these balls of mouse flesh, not to be confused with the other thing. Running Away's other notable feature is his incessant chatter, so you'll have no trouble finding him in the ground, and when you do, try lobbing your balls at him. Okay. Crude, but it proves effective. He was here in Greatest Endwalker when last I saw him. Let us split up and find him. We really should check up on Urianger, no? No? Okay, whatever. Gotcha. Ow, that's smarts. If this was meant to be a joke, it isn't funny. Yes, I'm running away. Do you mind explaining why you hit me in the face with your balls of moose flesh? I'm not teabagging you. I am highly knowledgeable about the final days. That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard since I woke up. Who told you that joke? As if we've got time to look into the final days when there's so much to do before the Great Voyage. It's true that Hydaelyn did impart to us some knowledge of the event, but I know about as much as any other laboratory around here. Less probably. I don't know why anyone would think it's funny to go around telling people I'm an expert, but I better hope I don't get my paws on them. Stranger things are going on here. Sorry I couldn't be of more help, but if there's nothing else, I have work to do. And I'm off. I could find neither hide nor hair of him. How did you fare? I found him, but he didn't know nothing. So he knows no more than the others. Care to explain yourself, Growing Way? Well, you see, they told me to divert you for some amount of time. I misremembered. Yes, that's it. I misremembered. Terribly sorry about that. I'm gonna kick your face in. Afraid I'm drawing a blank, though. Try as I might, I can't remember who I was thinking of. On an unrelated note, what of Urianger? I assume you spoke with him earlier, but did he say when he'll be returning? Oh, his way to the Watcher's Palace with Living Way? On his way. Between Growing Way's sudden lapse of memory and our lack of other leads, maybe our time would be better spent lending Urianger a hand. What? No, hold on a moment. It's all coming back to me. Yes, I remember. The information you're looking for is in the archives. Yes, that's where you'll find all sorts of useful knowledge, including the pertaining to the final days. The archives are on the second floor of the main plaza, the eastern wing. Follow me. I suspect the Loperites are up to something, but if there is aught to be learned of the final days, I think it's best to play along, for now at least. The archives are right through this door, but it seems to be locked. I guess we'll just have to go and find whoever has the key. Oh, let us in. Oh, Growing Way, enough. If you have naught else to tell us of the final days, you need only say so. We can ill afford to be wasting time here, as you well know. Did you yourselves not tell us we must act quickly? Yes, we did, but the moon was to be a perfect paradise for the people of Etheris, and we're running out of time to make everything ready for their arrival. We hoped you'd see the wonders we have to offer, but you found nothing but faults and flaws in our work. Only one of you saw our potential, so you others must be kept here. Ah, so that's Living Way's game. Run us about in circles and, failing that, lock us away so we can't put the plan at risk. Everyone except Urianger. He understands what is at stake, what must be done. I fear you've misjudged us, Growing Way. Never have we decried the notion of using the moon as a means of escape. That said, my heart breaks at the thought of abandoning Etheris and her reflections to their doom. If there is a way to avert the final days, I wish to find it. We all do. We may fail, but our efforts would never be at the expense of your plans. But why would you take that risk? There's no room for ifs and maybes now. The people of Aetheris will escape here to the moon. They'll be safe and we'll finally get to see all their happy smiling faces. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave. We just can't. You're not really in a position to stop us. Wow, really? Do what you must, but try not to hurt them. Are you talking to us or talking about them? I'll be back in a moment. Don't do anything rash while I'm gone. Okay, we're taking a leave then. If we dally, they'll overwhelm us with sheer numbers. I say we knock these ones out, split up, and make our way to the exit. Agreed. Let us reconvene where Argus awaits outside. Come here, I got a little scythe that thirsts for moon blood. Carrot and Ruin. That's so cute. You're so cute. Come on, I'm Hydaelyn's chosen. Who do you think you're fighting? I'm just assuming I'm... Okay, I need to leave. Okay. What? I'm the last? Oh man. Good, you're here. We must hurry to the Watcher's Palace and find Dorian J. And his band of rabbits.
And what, pray tell, do we seek at the Watcher's Palace?
Oh, come off it, friend. You know full well why we're here. The time has come for you to return to Aetheris and help your brethren prepare for their journey here and beyond.
Forgive me, Living Way, but I cannot in good conscience proceed with this plan.
Huh? But what about the final days? The death and the doom? Oh, we have to hurry before it's too late.
Your unflagging commitment to your duty is endearing, to say the least.
Oh, bugger!
Be at ease. They bear you no grudge, nor do I. How could we, having come to understand your purpose? For millennia, you and yours worked tirelessly towards the singular purpose of this heavenly vessel's construction. An arduous feat by any measure. It is clear you have spared no effort. Why, your very names are a testament to your dedication.
Our names? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
Names are an expression of the self, a declaration of one's hopes and aspirations. Your use of contemporary, uncomplicated nomenclature doth ensure clarity of purpose. There can be no doubt that your love for the people of Aetheris is boundless and pure.
Yes! Yes! A most mellifluous phrasing.
Mellifluous? Never heard the word.
Operates were born of Hydaelyn's love for Aetheris. That shining, shimmering blue jewel, brightest star in the sky, brimming with life and possibilities.
Well, then we should all try all we can do to...
I've toiled in anticipation of the day when this vessel might be needed. All I've ever wanted was to meet those she cherished so dearly. To serve and serve well. That goes for all of us, don't you see? So help us. Help us help them. Lead them here where we can keep them safe. If there's anything wrong with what we've built, we'll fix it. We'll make it right.
Your works want not for repair. Yet there remaineth much for you to learn of men, and your own kin besides. Singing Way, thy name bespeaketh more than the simple marriage of rhythm and rhyme. The songs of Aetheris are beyond counting, and span the length and breadth of emotion. Maps are monuments to man's pioneering spirit and his devotion to charting the furthest reaches of our star. Many have devoted their lifetimes to exploratory pursuits, to venture unto the highest mountains and the deepest oceans in search of unknown frontiers. And thou, my friend, I do not think we have met.
No. Pudding Way?
name is Pudding Way.
Do you eat pudding or do you make pudding?
Pudding Way? Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure. But one perhaps better communicated through delicious deeds than tasteless words. A judicious application of fey magics at a later juncture may be appropriate. And Living Way. 'Tis no easy feat to convey the significance of thy moniker. When I was a bookish boy, a dear friend of mine was fond of peppering me with questions as I read, to my occasional annoyance. One day, I posed to her a question of mine own. What doth it mean to live? After much contemplation, she proffered this answer. The anticipation of a half-read story's conclusion. The hope today's mistake may serve as tomorrow's lesson.
Only half read. So far.
The wish that a new acquaintance may one day call thee friend. She believed it to be all these moments and more.
I want to understand, but
I, too, still labor to find mine own answer. 'Twould be my pleasure to assist you and yours in embarking on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. For thee.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Ink as blue as the waters of Aetheris. Made in haste, though I assure thee, the quality has not suffered for it. The people need not be persuaded by honeyed words. Nay, I have faith they shall do what is right in due course. Until they do, I beg your patience, friends. And with that ink, let us fill the empty pages of Living Way's compendium. An open exchange of ideas will surely afford you all a better understanding of modern man, and with it, ideas for improvements and renovations. But more importantly, it shall empower us to together find a way forward.
Can we go now? Time is kind of ticking, you know? Just saying.
I hope you're right. Thank you for this lovely gift.
There you have it. I shall remain with the Loporrits to ensure that all is in order. Though we must needs prepare for every eventuality, you would all agree that the evacuation of our star is a last resort. To accept failure is to accept the demise not only of our star, but that of Reen's, of all reflections, and the souls that call them home. Which is why I have every faith that you shall fight to the last, that such drastic measures may prove unnecessary.
Should the worst come to the worst, and I pray deeply that it won't, I'll take comfort in knowing preparations were made under your watchful eye.
Alright, back to work. Nope, no.
Thou mayest be assured that if calamity cometh, not a soul will be left behind. If being the operative term.
Do we have all of them colors now? Holy crap, that was... That flower, how came it into your possession? Hydaelyn gave it to me. How very like her. Guided by its light, you may come to know her true intentions. Intentions which remain a mystery even to us. In our time we call it Elpis. You would do well to remember the name. Elpis.
I hate to interrupt, but I feel like I need to make amends for all the secrecy.
Think nothing of it. We haven't been the most gracious of guests. Do convey our apologies to Growingway and the others.
But of course! And when next we welcome more guests from Aetheris, we'll have learned to be much more hospitable hosts. Oh, and circling back to the matter of inappropriate secrecy, we ought to discuss our benefactors.
Agreed. The Charlayan Forum, yes?
Of course.
What? How did you know?
The more I heard, the more obvious it became. The Forum's aims align closely with those of your anonymous patrons. A telling coincidence would be an understatement. Though had we not taken it upon ourselves to peruse certain restricted tones in Labyrinthos, we might still be unaware of their plans. But let us continue this discussion upon our return. I dare say we have kept Alphino and the others waiting long enough.
That concludes the first half of Endwalker, I guess. See the second half in 2 years. Please no. It was a relief to see Livingway was pleased with my gift of ink. To serve and serve well, though their knowledge may be lacking, their boundless love is a blessing without peer. It will be no easy task to prepare them for what must needs be done, but gladly do I embrace this duty, even if it doth necessity that we part ways for a time. Forgive me my absence, but I have the utmost faith in you. In all our fellow science, when next I return to Aetheris, I pray I find you all in good health and good spirits. With the Elaporates in Uriange's capable hands, we needn't worry about affairs here in our absence. Knowing now the face of their earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphino and the others. Let us return to the Tower of Babel. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared. It's good to see you all again. No worse for your lunar adventure, I hope. Oh, you already knew. We've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. You won't believe it, I guess. But before we do, might you tell us what became of Garlemald in our absence? We succeeded in subduing the Tempered inside the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. Why exponentially? That doesn't make sense. The inclement conditions here have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, and so we have petitioned the aid of the allied nations. Some are understandably hesitant to proffer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to imperial occupation. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With the assistance of your fellow science, we endeavor to see them safely transported and subsequently cured of the tempering. Will all the tempered be relocated? No. We have sufficient shelter to attend to those whose treatment has begun, and enough healers have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Eulos is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alphino and Elise's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be with us today. In light of recent developments, have the Alliance leaders come to any decisions regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramifications of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep a close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Anima was defeated, received reports that each and every tower has vanished. Really, it was that easy? Oh my god. That's kinda... Okay, whatever. For a mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as that you experienced in Tavner. Those who were trapped within them have been rescued and are receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavor, the beast tribes have received instruction in the magics needed to cure tempering. Master Matoya is no doubt thrilled the Mother Porxia affords her so many visitors. Yes, we are grateful for her ongoing efforts, as well as those of our comrades near and far. As for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands after the transfer of Temperate has been completed. Lucia and I will remain, along with a small force, to continue offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Empire may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. I believe that accounts for recent events here. So what of the moon and the Telophoroi? Okay, so Fandaniel is dead, Zodiark is dead, we are all dead, and there is a moon that is waiting for us to take us to another star. I guess that should summarize all of the events, right? Final days. Gods, I prayed your victory would mark the end of our troubles. Sorry, they just begun. There is still much we do not know, but the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Yes, of course. I will send word forthwith. You'll also release your fellow Scients from their present duties, that they may return to Sharlayan. Your energies are better spent finding a means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow Scients, you will be happy to hear that Mistress Kryal, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Beldesian Annex and given into Tataru's care. Thank you. I look forward to seeing them both upon a return. Let us be on our way then. Yeah, back to Sharlayan. I'm looking forward to it. One last thing, if I may. After your confrontation with Zodiark, you said Xenos took his leave, and in all likelihood he has returned here to Garlemald. I have a mind to dispatch scouts to try and ascertain his whereabouts, but first wish to ask if you believe there is merit in doing so. If you're expecting a trail of destruction to follow, you won't find one. You are the only foe he considers worthy. And even if my man found him, who but you could even hope to bring loaded? Pray forget I entertained the notion. While on the subject of Xenos, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounce the Crown Prince and condemn his rule in the Empire's downfall. His very title has become a source of shame among his former subjects, and its continued use serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he has been declared as Xenos Viator Galvus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. Fandaniel is no more, and now his own people turn against him. It seems he's not but his bloodlust to keep him company. Better that than an army to see it sated. At any rate, I will not keep you longer. I pray you safe passage back to Sharlayan. That was an awful easy conclusion to Fandaniel's arc, to be honest. Kryal! Welcome back, Yomi. We were so terribly worried about you. We were worried about you. Though it is plain I have caused my own fair share of worry, and for that I apologize. Hydaelyn called to me that day when you entered the Tower of Babel. Her pleas were faint but desperate, and I knew at once she required a vessel to carry out her will. What came after feels like a dream, Belle remembered, my body flowing through the live stream toward Garlemald. When I regained consciousness, I was all aches and frostbite, exhausted for ether. So exhausted, in fact, I could only laugh, for it was in that moment I understood Ra's weariness from the Tower of Zod. Would that I could laugh at a time like this. Though we prevented Zodiark from being unleashed upon the world, I am curious to know what else took place there on the moon. There's a lot of bunny boys and girls. Perhaps we should wait for the others to join us before you give your account. Let us reconvene in the main hall once they've arrived. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. Not at all, we understand you've been quite busy. Will Oriange be joining us? Nope, he's on the moon. Duty keeps him away, I'm afraid, though Yomi can explain why better than I. So there's, you know, bunnies on the moon, and the bunnies build things, and that's why Ranger stays on the moon. The final days? As befell Amarod. Yep. And you had escaped via the moon? What of the source and its reflections? I have no intention of standing by while the world falls to ruin. So how do we stop this? Unfortunately, we have no answers at present. Well, bring the celestial currents to flow. If the celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the case in the time of Emerald, the solution would be to alter the flow of ether throughout the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiark, sacrificing half of the star's population in the doing. But it should go without saying that such a sacrifice cannot be repeated. Which leaves us with the daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst for the final days, a feat which even the Emeraldians could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in Mare Lamentorum. There is still much we do not know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Emeraldians' creation magics, but we command no such power, which invites the question, what havoc is in store for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw some parallel with the events of the past and thereby form some semblance of a plan. Perhaps we should start with the forum then. Having worked with the Loporits in secret all this time, there is surely more they can tell us. Forgive the interruption, but I have urgent news. The forum is holding a public assembly in the plaza outside, some sort of announcement. What is Father up to now? Only one way to find out. That doesn't sound good.
Order! Order! I say!
Order!
I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Sharlayan, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, and so we have called for a public assembly. You may have heard rumors of the Talopheroi and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether.
Oh, now they know that they're coming because now Zodiark is dead.
For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The Endbearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Is it true? Will all that really happen?
Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties. But first...
This is a list with all the people we intend to rescue, and all of the others can go die now. Have a nice day.
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
Master Le Veilleur, if you would.
Very well. "270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the ethereal sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret. What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star, and Hydaelyn herself."
Yeah, that makes sense.
She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared. The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel built to serve as sanctuary for her children and deliver them from this doom.
Yeah, so much we know.
Much like Nunkref's hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home.
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon. Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge, not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
Not long.
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great exodus. For his impressive contributions and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Le Veilleur to oversee this initiative.
Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation. The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be.
I'm just wondering who else they are willing to take with them.
See our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close.
They didn't mention at all who they're gonna take with them.
Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work. If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit. Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave.
You do you. Keep it civil, eh?
I may look daggers at him, but I will neither speak nor draw them.
If it's all the same to you, I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
So, come to call us cowards and bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable.
Nay.
Yeah,
We do not object to the Forum's proposal.
I would.
On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Urianger is cooperating with your associates on the moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Sharlayan, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love.
You tell him, Arthur.
Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option?
What about Reen?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence.
There you go, the good old shonen hero. Boy, that's my shonen boy.
This is why we choose to fight.
We'll not ask for your understanding, Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done. That we
This
can
is why we
still do-
choose to vaccinate. For those who cannot, for those who don't have any option, for those who cannot choose.
We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
Gonna promise that. We got our best man on the job.
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Bold words call for bold action. And there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
As if I ever would. So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
And if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested. Wouldn't you agree? And having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
Shall we then? To the Annex, to prepare for tomorrow.
That's bunny boys on them. Holy crap, that was creepy. Could you stop that please, Hydaelyn? You're creeping me out. A visitor has come knocking at the door. Whoever could it be? Kryl? Oh, I got to choose. Why isn't Kryl on the list? Ugh, I don't want to talk to any of the others. Maybe Graham.
Oh, apologies. I didn't mean to... If you could spare a moment before bed.
Sure. Make it quick, please.
Thank you. I fear this may be the last quiet night we have to talk for quite some time.
Good you're warning me about it.
I am troubled of late. Unwarranted concerns, perhaps. I hope. Nevertheless, I feel compelled to share them with you.
Go on, I'm all ears.
Though you have
Or
bested your
thorns.
enemies thus far,
In my case.
Gilganos and even Zodiark, your victories have come at a considerable cost to yourself.
You think?
No one is without their limits, and you are no exception. I worry the added weight of the final days will prove more than you can bear.
One does wonder where the limits of the warrior of light is, right?
It is surely too much for any one woman. But you needn't bear it alone. Let me share your burden.
How would I be doing that?
My, carrying capacity pales in comparison to yours, but I could still help. Shoulder the occasional satchel from your ever-growing mountain of, baggage. You have already done so much to help relieve me of mine own encumbrances. 'Tis only fair that I repay you in kind.
That's cute.
Of course, it needn't be only troubles we share.
What are you getting at?
Moments of joy may seem few and far between now, but there will come a time when we look back fondly on this journey. The inquiry at the Forum, our march through the snows of Garlemald, our impromptu dinner in this very room. All of it. And that is to say nothing of the journeys yet to come. To the ends of the world and beyond.
Yeah.
But tomorrow will be no less busy than today, and I've kept you from your rest long enough. Sleep well, my friend.
I will, thank you. Thanks for your concerns, I guess. A short while earlier in the Alamican Quarter. That's where it begins. Is that $4? Looked like $4.
Thank the gods that tower is gone. The sight of it was enough to make me sick.
Thank the Ilsebar contingent, more like. Word is, they fought their way into Garlemald and toppled the bloody thing themselves. Not just the one, neither. All the towers have up and vanished.
Aye.
Yeah,
I
we
heard
kinda
the
did.
same. Commander Aldin and his troops helped keep casualties to a minimum too.
Yeah,
Is
but
it
the real
true?
thing is
They
just to
brought
come in.
back tempered Garlean soldiers.
As Commander Aldin tells it, they've a treatment for that now. But don't you worry. Cured or not, they've no plans to bring them into the city proper.
I see. Well, that's a relief then. I know we've brothers and sisters among the lot, but I can't say I'm eager to welcome them home.
Wanted to think about it for a while yet. They're to be looked after in Alagana for the time being.
Meanwhile in Ishgard.
Another day, another commission of paramount importance. Oh, what have we here? Hey, are you all right?
It's a tempered, I guess.
Was
You
that-
don't seem
No.
very fine.
The shadows play tricks, nothing more. The towers are gone, and the Garlean threat has abated. And yet, why does it feel as though it's about to get much, much worse?
Because it is. Sorry to tell you. Come on, stop the horror music. It's 4 AM.